Recently, we saw a Solana-based thrift protocol lose about $285 million in just under 20 minutes. And what do you make out of that situation?
That's exactly what I want to talk about. You know, the drift incident reminded everyone that the biggest danger in DeFi might not just be a security issue anymore. I think it's really about control and governance.
Yeah, definitely. And this week also marks the end of Q1. So if you had to sum up this Q1 2026 report in one sentence, what would that sentence specifically be?
I'd put it this way. In Q1 2026, the primary crypto market raised about $5 million across 255 deals. That's down 16% from the same period last year. But the way money is being spent has clearly changed. The primary market is now paying for compliance, liquidity, and real yield.
But now let's go back to this week's biggest black swan. Why do you say that the $285 million drift hack was more than just another security incident?
Because it exposed more than just bank code. It showed that DeFi risk itself is changing. Going forward, people are going to care about who controls the protocol, not just whether the code was outdated. We need to put more control back into users' hands and make technology actually work for people.
Definitely. So this was sort of like a brutal lesson for the market. And when people look at where the money went this week, it's actually pretty clear. We have prediction markets getting about $1.7 billion, payment infrastructure rising about $735 million, and lastly, the trading infrastructure getting about $423 million.
Yeah, exactly. And that tells us the market hasn't stopped investing.
Yeah, got it. So basically on the surface level, the market looks risky indeed. But if we look underneath, the capital is actually moving away from those high risk areas, and it's actually putting more focus on deeper layers, like you mentioned, compliance, payments, price discovery, and liquidity. And that shift is actually really interesting because like when the market starts caring more about the real growth and the real validation, the builders may not be lacking ideas, and what they might actually be lacking is a path from building to launching. And is that also why the Genesis Camp is launching right now?
Yeah, exactly. That's why SYNBO Genesis Camp is launching right now. At its core, it's a founder camp for innovative tech projects around the world, especially in AI and crypto, infrastructure, on-chain finance, and the tools.
So it's not just another place for people to show up and get noticed. Actually really about helping those serious builders connect like the consensus, content, resources, and their fundraising paths. So what do participants actually get there?
Genesis Camp isn't about competition, it's about growth. Through online and offline connections, plus SYNBO's resource network, we help projects grow their brand, build relationships, validate community support, and create real business opportunities. So projects will take part in 3 to 5 city events, founder dinners, deeper networking sessions, online interviews, and content distribution. And more importantly, they can launch consensus trading or SYNBO, which turns community support into a real on-chain validation signal. There's also a 13,000 USDT Genesis consensus incentive for the top 10 community supported projects can share that pool and get priority access to future support and partnership opportunities.
Oh wow, that sounds pretty exciting and actually really compelling.
Exactly. So what Genesis Camp wants to help builders solve is this: brand visibility, resource connections, community validation, and then real follow through into future partnerships.
So basically, if we connect everything that we've covered today, the first half is about the market repricing risk, and then we moved on into the second half talking about SYNBO giving builders a more realistic path forward.
Yeah, exactly. What SYNBO wants to build is a global on-chain primary market entry point. So real builders don't have to build alone. They can be seen by consensus and supported by real resources and the right moment.
All right, thank you for today, Wendy. And we also want to welcome everyone to join our SYNBO Genesis Camp.
Yeah.
You can use the link right here to visit the official website and apply, and let your ideas truly be seen. This is the SYNBO On-Chain Frontiers. Thank you everyone for joining us weekly. And next time we will be keeping breaking down the changes that really matter in the primary market from SYNBO's perspective. Again, huge thanks to Wendy for sharing her insights today, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Samir, and thanks to everyone in the SYNBO community. See you next time.